My name is Coline, and I manage marketing at CitizenLab. So today, local democracies are faced with two issues. The first one is trust. Citizens trust their governments less. Even though 55% of them say that they would like to think along, they would like to participate, they would like to be given a voice, 83% say that the government is facing a lack of transparency, isn't communicating enough, isn't telling people what's happening. The second issue is that even when governments try to reach out to citizens, it's complicated and they're having a very hard time. The first way they try to reach out traditionally is through physical activity. So, the town hall where everyone comes and talks and say what they want to say. But that's expensive, and that's not very representative because you always see the same citizens coming over and over again. The second way is paper surveys, but that is a lack of transparency. Once again, it's expensive, it's difficult to set up. And the third way is social media. But social media gives you a lot of data, but then it's difficult to analyze that data, and it's also difficult to set up. So at CitizenLab, we make citizen participation easy. We improve and strengthen local democracies by helping them make more efficient decisions and by increasing trust in these decisions just by increasing citizen participation. So that's the pitch that we give, but how it works for governments. Number one, engage citizens. So we help them reach out to citizens, we help them get more people in, we help them consult quite widely. Number two, manage citizen input and give feedback, because that's kind of a hidden secret. Once you've collected all these citizen comments, no one talks about the nightmare that it can be to moderate them and to aggregate them and to read through them. So our platform allows them to do this really easily and to assign things and to share things and to block comments. And the third one is use all of this aggregated data to make better decisions. So basically, we believe in a virtuous circle of participation. Get more people to say what they want, analyze this, and use what your citizens are saying to make better decisions. So tap into that collective intelligence. We've worked with 100 local governments. We've got more than 100,000 engaged citizens. So that's all the cool numbers my bosses want me to put on the slides. These are our clients all over the world, so Belgium, Netherlands, but also France, Chile, Canada, Bermuda. And here are the few of the lessons that we've learned. One, go local. So citizens love giving their opinion on matters of the state, right? They like being involved in their countries and speaking about the state level. No, this is not true. No one wants to do that. People care about what happens in their city. People care about what happens in their street, and this is where they're likely to go and participate. So what we've seen, interestingly, is that in France recently, there was the Grand Débat, where the state, following ongoing protests, launched a kind of national consultation. A few of the cities that we were working with in France at the time already had a municipal platform where they were collecting input. And they thought, well, this is going on, so we'll just add the Grand Débat to our local platform. And what we saw was that there were less contributions to the Grand Débat than contributions to the actual, very local city problems. And what people expressed about the Grand Débat was less constructive. It was more anger coming out and general proposals and nothing that really related to problems that they wanted to fix. So if you want to start with citizen participation, start with something that's close to home. Build trust on a local scale and go from there. Two, things work both ways. You have to combine a top-down approach with a bottom-up approach. So it's great to go out to citizens and say, okay, this is our project. You can vote on building A or building B, which one do you want? And then at the end, you collect the vote. But what really strengthens the process if you also say, our citizens, well, what would you see for building C? Give us your ideas. And then allow citizens to talk together and to have debate. And so we initially had a very simple platform, but we've started to build more and more features which are focused on citizen input and citizen discussions. The third is stay transparent. It's very important that you communicate with citizens at all stages of a project, because otherwise it kind of is this little black box where people send their ideas and they kind of float into the wild world of, gov tech and civic tech, and then they never hear about them again. What really makes a project successful and what really builds trust in the long term is if you say, okay, you've given us this idea. A, we're going to use it, or B, we're not going to use it because, it's a bit too expensive, or because you proposed a building but it's not accessible enough. So really tell them what you're doing with their ideas. Also explain why you're using their ideas or why you're not using their ideas. If there's a budget to be attributed, explain clearly what the steps to attribute the budget are going to be. Give them a very clear timeline so they know when to accept a response. They know when they can expect to see action. So these are extremely important steps, and they help really close the loop and then start a new project afresh. And the final one, which is the most important one, is real work starts when you think you're done. So in citizen participation projects, the most difficult thing isn't actually to collect citizen input. Anyone can do that today with social media. I can go out today and send out a survey and send out a tweet and receive 1,000 responses on what people thought of this conference. The real work is, how do you analyze this? If you're an administration with 10 people in a small city in the south of France, if you've managed to collect 3,000 citizen ideas, but you don't have the time or you don't have the technical skills in your team to analyze this, then you're stuck. Then your project doesn't go anywhere, and then you lose trust. So you really have to think about that last step, which is really, really crucial. So at CitizenLab, we've integrated artificial intelligence on the platform, and we're using natural language processing to, once the ideas are collected, classify them, cluster them, and then locate them on a map. So of course it's not perfect, because no artificial intelligence is perfect, but when it's combined with human wisdom and with knowledge of the administration and knowledge of the citizens, then it becomes a really powerful tool to help governments really tap into the collective intelligence of their citizens. And we really believe that this is how we can really strengthen local democracies at a local scale. We can help governments shape better policies, make better decisions. And by doing that, we're also hoping to see an increased trust in these institutions and a kind of renewed wish for citizens to participate in government and in decision making. And thank you, that's all from me. Thanks.